once again to Two Dudes in a Train. I'm rolling. This is Ed, and holy cow, electrical. Well, so far you've been following us on our little journey with the bench work. Got all the track laid and everything. You even saw a little bit of a background on all of our clouds. Well, now is the time. Is holy cow, electrical. I didn't even anticipate I would be getting into as much as I thought it was going to be. But you know what? I'm enjoying it, and I like stuff like this. You know, just trying to zoning into my own work here, and please forgive me that a lot of stuff that I've been doing on the side I have not been recording. I should probably slap my own hand on that one, but I'm going to start getting a little bit diligent and showing you what I have done so far. So, got anything you want to add in on that, Ed?
Not yet, but I do see an addition to the layout that I hadn't seen before. You want to take the camera in and explain to everybody what's going on there?
Yeah, I just did a little bit of a spot where I want to put my control board. As you can see in back there, got some switches. But we'll talk about that in a moment because this is where we're going to be starting today. Alright, so tell you what, let's start over here, and I'm going to give you a little bit of an insight on what's going to be going into the full layout. Okay, so this is what we're going to be starting with, is our Digitrack Zephyr, the DCS52. I love this thing. There's a lot going on here, and we'll talk about that once we start getting into it. Okay, and then what I'm actually going to start doing is incorporating my Arduino. I'm using an Arduino Mega here. Obviously this is not a genuine Arduino. I'm using a DF Robot brand. I've dealt with DF Robot in the past with some of my robots that I have built, so I'm familiar with them and I'm happy with their work. Now, obviously, there's so many different kinds of Arduinos out there, so do your homework. If you're getting into Arduino or thinking about it, I would actually suggest getting a genuine Arduino. I do have one. I'm not showing it right now because I'm using this. So, but that's that. I got a block detector here that I'm going to be incorporating. Infrared sensor, 8-channel relay system here that I got off of Amazon. How much you think I paid for this? $8. For $8, I got 4 reverse loops in one. Very simple programming to make this just reverse polarity. Got a bunch of LEDs. This is a little bit of the module. Like I said, I apologize for not showing you what I've been building, but I'm still got to hook up all the wires. But this is one of the modules that I'm building for my Arduino, and I will be talking more about this. I got like 4 other ones that I need to build, so I'll keep you in touch on that one. I have my power supply. I built this one out of an old computer with just a terminal block and a voltage booster. So actually I'm turning 5 volts into 7 volts or 9 volts or 12 volts. I think I can go up to like 34 volts or something. And then so this is actually going to be powering the Arduino side of the setup, and my Zephyr here is going to be powering the track side. Now we're going to have our soldering area here. I do have 2 different types of soldering guns. This has a flat chisel. This has an extreme point to it. I'm using the extreme point for my electrical, and I really haven't used the chisel yet for the track, but I'm actually give that a shot. I did use the fine point, and I really couldn't give an opinion right now because I haven't tried this yet. But I'll get back to you on that one. Alrighty, and then of course you got your holder, your brass. What the hell you call this?
It's for cleaning.
Yeah, cleaning. Your brass cleaning. So you get a soldering on there, you know, you clean it. Use a good soldering paste. I have 2 different types of solder. I have a very small, I think it's .020 for my electrical connections. And this is just some of your run-of-the-mill stuff. It doesn't say what size it is. I think it'll work. We'll give it a shot. I don't know. And then you have your debraiding wire here, so if you get too much solder in a spot, you use this to wick it out. Okay? Alright, moving on. Now we're getting into the main control area here. So we're going to be starting off with, we'll use these. A lot of terminal blocks. We're going to be using this in strategic spots. For instance, when 2 of my block sectors come together, you pretty much mount these one on each side, one on the other, and then run your jumper through. Or
now, I would think you only need 1 at each joint.
One at each joint?
If you just mount the one on one side, we can bring the wire just under and connect it into the lower half. Then when you have to separate the joint, you just unscrew your unplug and those will dangle.
There you go.
Versus having
two of them, yeah.
Because now basically you have the same thing, only you'll have a short jumper wire going.
There you go. Yeah,
kind of unnecessarily doubles your cost.
You're right. You're right.
In my opinion,
that is a good assumption. So yeah, there you go. Lesson learned. Got all my switches for my turnouts. I'm actually going to make a programming track and a main track all in one. Hence another switch. I am using 16 gauge wire. This is the stranded wire just because it's a little bit easier to work with right now. For my feeders that are going to be coming off of the main lines, I'm going to be using solid core, approximately 22 gauge.
So this is for the main bus?
Yeah, this is the main bus.
These are for our drop feed.
Now a little bit of an inside clue there. I got this out of a phone line at your local hardware store. Of course you got to strip the sheathing off, but you know, for 20, 30 feet, you can wind up with what, 5 times 30? Yeah. Now you got different colored wires for what you can use for
all
a fraction of
gauge.
All the same gauge for a fraction of the cost of what you would try and find the gauge in this. A little bit DIY there, you know.
Another money-saving tip.
Yeah.
First, we got to locate your Digitrack.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, tell you what. Let's give that a shot. Here we go. You know what I just thought of? I got another controller. Tell you what. Be right back. Yeah, I forgot I had my remote unit here too. Yeah, and one good thing about the Zephyr is that it's got a local net on the back where I can hook this directly into that. Now I can run 2 trains off the same one, and it has one more. So when Ned comes over with his train, he can hook right on in, and then I can run 3 trains on this setup, all through the Zephyr. Yeah, I'm digging this little thing. Oh, I'm digging it. I got to thank Mom again for Christmas on this one. Thanks, Mom. I think I want to have that one set right there, and then we'll kind of set that one right there. I think that'll work. Okay, and then I guess on the other side here, we can run all the switches. I don't know, what do you think? Yeah.
So stack them up along it?
Yeah.
Will that leave us a nice area for a diagram here? We can go ahead and do a track plan right on the screen here.
Oh yeah, you know what? And then within that track plan, I can put the corresponding LED lights.
LED light.
Alrighty, so. Yeah,
so that's the plan.
Yeah, that is the plan for what we're going to be doing with this layout. Like I said, holy cow, electrical. I can't wait to see what this wiring harness is going to look like when we're done. It's got to be about the size of a good-sized dowel rod. I'm happy we're to this point to where we're closer to getting a train running.
Getting track power to the track won't mean anything to us until we have this hooked up.
Oh, and talking about power to the track, Ed actually ran an outlet underneath here, and actually he ran one over here too, because right over here is when I'm going to put my laptop and run the JMRI. So it's going to be kind of tucked out of the way. So if you're wondering where we're getting our track power from, yeah, he ran it over here, and it's going to be tapped in right here with an on and off. That'll turn this whole system off in one shot. All right, we're going to find out where we want to put the Zephyr here. Okay, and as I said a few minutes ago, about how maybe I was going to have my UT4D here sitting right next to it on this side. Well, come to find out that the actual cord is not long enough. So what I think I'm going to do is set this off to the side for a later date and come back to that. So in the meantime, we can actually scoot our Zephyr over a little bit. Alright, so on this note, we're going to actually have to drill 3 holes. One for the power supply, one for my track feeds, and then one for my USB hookup to my computer.
I would drill a 4th hole, one for the loco net.
Good point. Alright, so I'm going to stand up here and make some... Oh, my knees, ouch. Sucks getting old. Alright, so where are we at here? This is one local net here. Maybe do one there, do one here, do one there, and then one there. Alright, so let's set this off to the side so we don't mess it up here. I'm actually going to figure out the actual dimensions in here before I just start hacking into it. So if anybody you guys are out there are cringe and say I'm not measuring this, before I actually cut into it, I'm going to make sure before I make the final incision. And then of course, The backboard I'm using here is only but like a 3mm handy board, kind of flimsy, so I actually put a bar across the front of it so it'll kind of make it a little sturdier there. I also got to be careful what drill bit I'm using in here, so when you go through it with a drill bit, you're not tearing through the back of it and then it just looks ugly on the back side and then you lost half of your structural integrity. So I see Ed has handed me a
speed square
or a carpenter square, and that should do it for the local net. These are my area for my wires drop through, and then this is for my power cord. Alright, tell you what, let me get that power cord here, find out what kind of an end I'm dealing with. Alright, looking like we're dealing with just our normal Canon plug there. It looks like that's actually worked just well. And of course I'm going to be using the handy Dremel there. I'm going to start off with a small hole using a relatively small bit, and then use the Dremel to enlarge the hole accordingly to what I need there. So, you know what though? Ed, let me have some of that blue tape over there. What I'm going to try and do is actually go on the backside here and tape the backside. Hopefully that won't chew it up too bad when I pop through the other side. So I'm just going to go underneath and put some tape in this general area here. And if it doesn't work, at least I can say I tried. There you go, thank you. Alrighty, let's make the first incision here. Now you don't want to go pounding through it, just let the drill do the work. And if you have a slightly dull drill bit, you may want to use it. Let's see how we did. Not too bad, kind of crunched up a little bit. Alright, I'm going to drill up another one here. Wow, this booger is dull. Wow, okay. Boy, that's sad. Well, I think I might have to throw this drill bit away when it can't even cut through 3mm worth of wood. Wow. Okay, let me go hunt down some eye protection here since I'm using a rotary tool here. Alrighty there, guys and girls. Get the almighty eye protection on there. Okay. Everybody, I think we're on to something here. Alright, let's see if the USB will fit. Look at that, like if it was almost made for it. Alrighty. Power cord fits right on through. That's real nice. And then we go for the local net. Look at that, fits right through it. Look at that, real nice. Without even measuring.
You did measure.
Kind of a half measure there. Alright everybody, get down on one knee here so I can show you all of this. We got our holes drilled here. So now we're going to put the Zephyr back in the spot here, okie dokie. And it looks like we got all the nice wires all lined up there. Getting into it, okay. Got our first line all hooked up, look at that. Okay. Yeah, I keep it nice and tight.
USB?
Yeah. But you know what, I may have to get a longer one. Yeah, these here are just your standard printer cable. You know, if you got a printer at home, one side's got that square rounded top end and then the other one's just a USB. You want to zoom that in there. Yeah, that's just your basic, and the other one's a USB. So if you need a longer one, you can pick these up for a dime a dozen. So yeah, so let's feed that right through that. Okay, you got that all hooked in?
Yeah.
Okay, feed that back through it. How's that looking?
Yeah.
You know what, let's just unplug this for now since I don't have my computer down here. And I guess at this point, we can start dropping our 16 gauge wire and mounting our bus block underneath here. Behind here, under here. We're going to actually start with a soldering point here. And Ed's going to show you his techniques in soldering some rails together.
Alright, so what we have is a joint between two sections of flex track. We want to go ahead and solder them up. So I've got some flux right here. I've got my rosin core solder right here. Now you want to use rosin core because rosin core is electrically conductive. I'm going to take a little bit of this flux and we're going to put it right here on the joint. Now this flux is basically going to help spread the solder out and let it flow in nice, and hopefully we won't wind up with a big glob of solder. Now if you're looking closely, you may notice I got a slight kink there, and I'm hoping to be able to kind of straighten that out as I go. So I'm going to go ahead and heat it up. Now I'm going to try to get it good and hot, but not so hot that it melts the plastic tie. Now that'll be interesting. Okay, we've got it connected. Now what I'm going to try to do is get that kink out. So I'm going to get my screwdriver ready here. Kind of get it, the solder nice and soft. Give it a bit of a push.
How we looking there? How we looking there?
Well, verdict isn't in yet.
Don't look too bad.
Yeah, I'm not quite liking it yet. There we go. We're getting some flowage there. Okay,
now,
there we go.
Now I noticed that you're using a very fine tip on that.
I am. I'm trying to minimize how much solder. We want enough solder to close the joint up.
Oh, I see it now. I see it
now. We don't
now.
want to put so much solder on that there's a big old clump there.
Yeah, so you're really going to have to heat that rail up in order for it even to accept it, huh?
Yeah, it's coming.
I got you.
I'm trying not to melt that tie, but if it does, you know what? With a little bit of ballast and a little bit of weathering, it'll disappear.
Now I think they do sell abrasion block.
Yep, they do. I'm just trying to smooth out the top right now a little bit, but we might have to come back and sand it down a little bit.
Okay.
Alright, first one is done with a little bit of minor damage to the tie, but that's alright. We'll make that disappear. The next one will be easy because it doesn't have a tie right underneath the joint. I should have thought of that and removed that tie ahead of time. But you know how we do it here on Two Dudes in a Train. We sometimes get a little ahead of ourselves. And here we go. I'm getting the solder to flow. I want to kind of close that up a little bit. She's flowing really good. And I'm soldering the outside of the rail because I want to avoid having a big lump on the inner portion. The wheel flange is going to go. Alright. It's looking pretty good. That one's a little rough. Where's the car? We got a real car?
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, it seems to roll pretty nice. Of course, it's a little rough, so we'll take care of that. So, we want to start here with this joint because we're going to make this our programming track, and we wanted to have a decent run between the insulated joiners. Alright, now that that's done, we're going to check to see if we've got good electrical flow. So this is a nice digital multi-tester, and we're going to check continuity. I have one that makes a nice tone when you have continuity, the contact points. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's beeping right now. And that's telling me that I've got electrical flow. So we'll go on each side of each joint. Good tone. Good tone. That is a success. And there we have it. That is our first joint soldered up on the layout. And away we go.
Alrighty everybody, and now that Ed has soldered up a little bit of the track up above here, we're gonna jump down below and actually do a little bit of the electrical as far as hooking up our first bit of rail, which is going to be the programming rail and part of the main line. So what I'm going to have to do is take a toggle switch and be able to switch in between the two, I guess the two channels, if you want to put them like that, between the programming and then the main. Okay, I seen this done at our model train club. So but yeah, he had a pretty neat setup on how he was actually able to change from the two tracks. So I thought I'd try to incorporate it into mine. Alright, so first of all, what we're going to do here is actually set up a few bus lines. Actually, you know what, let me bring the camera in a little bit closer here. How's that? Yeah, we kind of lost. Whoa. Yeah. See, we kind of lost our camera girl. Yeah. So, kind of doing this. Ed and I are doing this. So, Please bear with us. All right, here we go. How's that, everybody? Okay, can you see? All right, so I got an 8 bus block here.
Distribution block.
You're right, distribution block.
Distribution.
Well, bus block, I guess it could be a bus distribution. I got an 8 channel here and 2 10 channels here. This is going to be the main one that takes care of the bus line that goes all around the bottom. And then these 2 here are going to be hooked into this, and these are going to be running all of my switches for the turnouts and just accessories. So let's get started. I guess I need a screwdriver.
This one's bigger.
Bigger one. I have to put an 8 station here instead of a 6, so as you can see I'm taking this one out and actually just kind of starting over again. I wanted an extra spot to run it over to here, and if I have to run any more accessories off the main line, then I have an extra spot in here to do so. So let me just go ahead and quickly disconnect these, and then actually what we're going to do is to make this look a little bit more professional is we're going to take some spade connectors. Kind of make these ends all nice and pretty.
How many of those terminal ends do you need?
Let me have 6 of them right now. Alright, just clip off a little bit there. I'll sweep that up later. Alrighty. Yeah, make this look all nice and pretty. I need a pair of pliers too. Wire pliers. Alright, there we go on the 6 there, so I'll set those right there. Oh, he even got them color coded for me.
Stripper?
Oh, beautiful.
And
Alrighty.
you have a crimper. Is that also the crimper?
Yeah, it's kind of a crappy crimper. Alright, so what we're going to do is give the end a little twist here. Slide it on in. Make sure it's got a good seat there. Look at the end of it. Make sure it's poking out the end. Just, uh-oh. I don't have a proper set of wire stripper cutters, but I do have a pair of wire pliers. So we're going to make this work. Alright. I intend on running something today. So, let's kind of clean that up a little bit. Are you kidding me? I think they're a little old there. Alright, let's go ahead and slide this on. Okay, poking out a little bit. And then we'll just put on that. Ah, that was a beautiful one. That was beautiful. That looks a little professional there. Okay. Alright, so we got one down. Let's throw up another one here. So yeah, you just slide it on through. Yeah, so I got the wire plier there. Oh yeah. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Okay. Got the black one. Let's do a positive here. Yeah, you got to make sure you got to give it a good twist here. Alrighty. Slid right on through there. Make sure. Okay.
That's skinny.
That's a skinny?
Yep.
Okay, the skinny one was for the smaller bus bar. Here we go, I got one. Yeah, that'll work. Alright. Now I guess you guys could go one step further and actually maybe put a little dab of solder on the end of that to just guarantee it won't come off, but just give it a good hard crimp. I think you'll be okay. Not like you're building a rocket here, so it's not going to be jarring around a lot. So once you get these in spot, it's pretty much not moving anymore. Make sure it's there and send it on home. Alrighty. Alright, those are the main bus line. And as you can see, I kind of helped myself out here and actually labeled my rails here. I got the programming on the first 2, and then the rest of them are just pretty much going to be jumpered over to supply the power for the bus lines off the rest of them. How's that look, everybody? Please comment. If I'm not doing something right, well, I'm probably not doing something right by using the wrong plier, so please comment on that. Please. Alrighty, so get our screwdriver here, and these are the main lines here. So we're going to bring these over onto the top. Wait a minute here. Wait a minute here. Yeah. Okay. Had a little brain fart there. Okay. Bottom is going to the bus line. The top is going to be feeding to the Zephyr and the rest of the programming stuff. Let's start with this one here. Okay.
Oh, that's going to be your rail?
Yeah, this is the bus line going to the rails. Okay. Hook those up to the bottom. Alrighty. Now you're probably asking why I have 2 bus lines here, because now I have one that feeds that side of the layout, and then I got one that feeds this side of the layout. Hence the 2 boards, and this is where it's split. So instead of running one continuous loop around, I got them split up. And then at the end of the layout, I just got it capped off. Yeah, because I was watching a YouTube channel about a looping bus line, and it almost kind of made sense on how the signal travels through DCC. If you have a signal going in both directions, oh, that's my dog, directions on a loop, and where your locomotive sits on that loop, you're going to have a signal hit that locomotive before the other signal, because it'll go around in a loop. And if you got your train here and the signal's coming here, it's going to hit that, and you may possibly, I don't know, I've never experienced, you may hit another signal as it's coming around the back side of the loop when it hits that. So you may get a little interference. I mean, the logic is there, so I just opt just to end it, you know, instead of running the loop. So now what I have is this line here is going to be feeding my programming rail. So let's just go ahead and put some ends on this. Now what I did here is, since I'm using these larger wire clips here, what I did on the end of it is and this being maybe 18 gauge?
About 18.
Yeah. What I did is made my end a little longer and then looped it over. So when it goes into my spade connector here,
You got the same color.
oh, you're right. I almost made a boo-boo there, putting the wrong color on there. All right, so then I just kind of twist it on up there, and then, what's up there, Kiwi? Alrighty there. So we got our end connectors. Now what we're going to do is go ahead and put that on up into here. Okay, now this here is actually going to be going to a switch. This is the switch that we're going to be using. It is a double pole, double throw, on and off toggle switch, which means that when you look at it, this line here is segregated from this line, and this line is segregated from this line. Okay? You agree, Kiwi? I agree too. So what we're going to do is we're going to hook the programming wires to one side, a bus line that comes from the
Command control.
goes to the other side, and then the middle will go out to the track. Okay, so what we're going to do is actually get some 16 gauge wire here. Okay, so what we're going to do is actually use eyelet connectors. With this switch here, I can take the screws out of there, and then just, so a nice solid connection. Alright, so let's cut ourselves some wire. How much we need? And that's about good right there. Alrighty. Go ahead and cut that, clean them up. And once again, I'm using 16 gauge wire here. These two wires here are going to be for the switch. So that's where the eyelet connectors come in at. But I'm only going to put the eyelet connectors on one end of the switch. I'm not going to put it on the other side. Really don't know what we're going to do with that yet, because we still got to drop feeders in for the main rail that goes through the board. So yeah, there's still a handful of things that need to go on. And boy, I wasn't lying to you when I said holy cow electrical, because good grief.
I did warn you.
Ed did warn me, but I really didn't. Wow. Yeah, when we got the track all laid out and everything and stood back and looked at it, and I was like, holy cow, what did I step into here, you know? But yeah, it's actually testing all of my skills. And then when I started getting into the Arduino, started doing with the automation. All right, we got our eyes there. So now what we're going to do is take care of this. I should do this on a table or something, make it a little bit easier, but I guess you really don't need to see what I'm doing down here, because I'm really fumbling with this stuff. Alrighty. Got the first one hooked up. Alright, let's hook up the second one. Okay. Guys are probably going, can I see two? Can I see two? Yeah. Most of what I'm talking is probably just going to be edited out. Alrighty. Alright, there we go. So now we have our bus lines hooked up. As you can see, I got it screwed into that side and screwed into that side. Alrighty. So now let's set this off to the side and let's concentrate on these wires here. And then I'm going to loop it on over here a little bit, you know, like I did with the smaller ones, with the smaller gauge. And it's handed me one here, and I didn't smash that enough. I'm almost needing my seeing specs. There we go. Boy, if I do for my cheaters, man. To all you young kids out there, as soon as you hit 40, yeah, pretty much kiss your eyesight goodbye. Comment if that happened to you, because right at 40, yeah, eyesight going bad. I can't see close anymore. Now I can see about 3 miles away on a newspaper, but no, nothing close. All right, it's handed me another one here. Give it a good smash there. Okay. Oh, real good, real good. All right, tell you what, we're just going to let that hang for a second, and I think I had another set of wire here. All right, where did I put that wire at? Oh, stepping on it. Okay, here we go. All right, so now I got another set of wire. Now this is a little bit thinner of a gauge, kind of matches the one that's coming off of the programming. So programming's going to go to the top, a bus line is going to go to the bottom. So what I need to do is actually put some spade connectors on here and hook it up to where it says rail A and B on this side. Slide that on through. Make sure that's red and red. Okay.
Wait,
What's up? What's up, buddy?
Oh, you're putting the spades in.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
yep,
This,
yep,
okay,
yep.
okay. Ed's checking my work there. I almost questioned myself. Alrighty. That one's done. And let's get a blue. Alrighty, here we go. There we go. Alrighty, give it a good squeeze here. Alrighty, we're there. So now what we're going to do is put the red to the positive side. Alrighty. So now, this is where our eyelet connectors come in at. So we're just going to...
I think it's a red one.
Oh. I guess I got to use a red one.
Well, yeah, got to keep them all consistent now.
Don't want to throw nobody off here. Okay. Did we just lose a light? Yeah, we just
Sure did. Oh, it turned back on.
Oh, it turned back on. Do 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 do. Alrighty. Got that one on. Let's get the blue one. Wow. Dude, my eyesight's bad.
You need your cheaters?
I'm about ready for my cheaters, dude. Yeah. This close away, guys. Girls. It's a blur. It's a blur. Alrighty. Alright, so I got my eyelets on both sides. So what I'm going to do now is, probably should ask Ed to take this across the street so I can see it. Oh, wow. Hey, well, let's move on to a smaller set here. Okay, everybody. Boy, these screws are tiny. Tiny, tiny. Okay. Uh-oh. Okay. Here we go, everybody. My second in command just... Ed, that is. Got my cheaters on. Alrighty. Boy, I can see now. Okay. This is the bus line, so we're going to... What's up, Kiwi? Okay, there we go. She wants to join in on the fun too. Ooh. Uh-oh.
Oh, don't break it now.
Uh-oh. Yeah, careful. I bent that one. I'm able to bend back out, but yeah, careful. You don't put too much stress on it. You know, you wind up breaking those tines off in a heartbeat. All right, what's up, girl? She wants all the attention right now. She wants her own YouTube channel. Is that what it is? She wants her own YouTube channel. Get her 5 minutes of fame. Yeah, she wants to play right now. Oh, I'm about to make a mistake. Yep, I'm glad I caught myself, everybody. Because now what you have to keep in mind is make sure that you keep the polarity correct. Because if you notice, I have black on one side and red on the other. So, yeah, I almost made a boo-boo here because I'd had an instant short. So just make sure that you hook everything in tangent to each other. Kind of Kind of temperamental there. Okay, everybody, now we're done. So, from the block here, we have our rail going into the top side and our programming to the bottom side. Now, we're going to have to start hooking up the, I guess I can take these off now. We can hook up the Digitrack Zephyr control center up to this track and then make jumpers to power this side, because right now this side is not powered. So this power comes from the Zephyr. Alrighty, so now I kind of set myself up in a different spot here, because what I want to do is actually take our Zephyr. It has a little plug here on the back that you can actually disconnect. So what I'm going to do is set the Zephyr off to the side, and this is the piece that I'm going to be using. And what I want to do is actually take some of my 16-inch bus line wire, and that's what I'm going to be using coming off of the Zephyr and feeding the bus block here. Alrighty, so what we're going to do is take my wire strippers, strip off a little bit, and then even if you strip off a little bit too much, it'll be okay. Let's get some flux, and then what I'm going to do is just take the flux and then take the wire, just dip it right on in, get it nice and in there, okay? Put that into my little handy dandy clamp here, get a little bit of solder, okay, get a little bit on the there, and then once it gets hot enough, it'll just wick it right on in. There we go. A lot better. A lot better. Clean it up a little bit. Okay. Alrighty. What I'm going to do is cut off the actual end of it. Pretty it up a little bit. First one is going to be my positive. So we'll just go ahead and set that off to the side and then go ahead and tin this one. Alrighty. So.
Did you flux it?
No, I didn't flux it. Alright, here we go. Just put a little bit on there, start heating it up. There you go, and just let it flow in. Oh, that's a beautiful one. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that, look at that. Almost professional. Alrighty there, everybody. I'm just going to snip off the very end here. Okay, I'm going to take my little block here. Negative goes in the second one. So we're just going to stick it right in there, close it on up. Run our positive in there.
Now, I should jump in here real quick.
What you got there, buddy?
This being a DCC,
Uh-huh.
you're really not worried about negative and positive.
No. Pretty much the red line would go to one rail and the black would go to another rail. It's really not positive and negative, because if you look on the back of your Zephyr, they actually label it rail A and B. So this is where you got to make sure that they're separated and they're not crossing each other for short. You're absolutely right there, Ed. Now what we're going to do is just plug this directly into the back of the Zephyr and get it ready for the next one. Oh, my programming track. I need a programming line. So what I'm going to do here is cut my access wire off. Maybe about a foot, you say? Okay, that looks about
Give
good.
a little more.
Okay, let's give it right about there. And look, we still got some left over. Let me show them in the camera here, so kind of wondering, what are you doing over there? What are you doing? I tell you what, I think I'm going to get a little slick. See if I can kill two birds with one stone here. Let's put the positive on that side. Get a little flux on it. And let's put that on the other side. Where's the solder? Clean off the excess flux on it. Make sure it's clean. Alrighty. Can you see me, everybody? Want to zoom in on me a little bit there, Ed? So now, we just go ahead and just feed it on in. And what the flux does is it actually sucks it right on in between the wires. And look at that. Oh, look at that. Oh, that just fit right on in there. Beautiful. Clean your tip off. Make sure you don't have no residue flux on it. And that's it right there, everybody. So, snip this off a little bit. Go ahead and clip this off. Alright, so we'll go ahead and put program A here. And program B, or negative, is going to be over here. Now, according to the back of the Zephyr, the middle one here is a ground. So, in the future, when I hook up my Arduino and start running my automation, some of my LED lights or some of the switches are going to be ran off of a ground, which I want to run into the Zephyr, so the Zephyr is grounded to it. Alrighty, so I got my board cut out here, and the one hole here is going to be where I mount the switch. These areas here is where we're going to be feeding the wires going through and going over to our Zephyr. So now what we're going to do is, you know what? Let me have a screw. Okay. Alright, so now, not screwed in all the way in place, just kind of holding there. So what we're going to do is feed in our one wire to the top there. It's got the stuff here for me. Now what I did here, everybody, is if you see here, you have on and off.
On and off.
Oh, on and on. So I'm just going to flip it over. And then we're going to make our own markings. Okay? And then, uh-oh. Washer down.
Find it later. Here's a new
No,
one.
I got it.
You got it?
Right here.
Okay.
Alrighty. Alright, very nice, very nice. Okay. You're going to do finger tight right now. Okay. Now, what we're going to do here to our Zephyr is cut the ends off here real quick. 16. Okay, I'm not going to tin these ends. I want to put some spade connectors on.
Now remember,
Yeah.
these two go together.
Yep. Yeah, so make sure they're all split up now so you don't cross feed them and everything. Next thing you know, your Zephyr's telling you something you don't want it to say. Alrighty. Something don't look right here, bro.
Yeah.
You got the power cord right where my toggle switch is supposed to be.
Well, because you know why? Because that's the hole for the power cord.
Okay, everybody. I think I need to make a new hole. Yeah, it's supposed to. Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's funny. Okay, let's take this back out and drill a hole in it and mount it over a little bit. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back and we had to get some industrial tools. Still can't believe that. And I think it's a good spot, maybe right about there. Okay. Now what I'm doing is I'm using a dull drill bit here because with this being so thin, if I use anything sharp on it, it's just going to rip right through it and it's just going to look ugly. There's an animal. You just go ahead on, buddy. I heard you're not supposed to kill those. Yeah. Okay, we just press on, buddy. Okay, here we go. Okay, so now I'm going to come across the back here to kind of clean it up there. There you go. There you go. Alright, let's see if we hit our mark here. Looks like we got a winner. Alright, we got our hole done. Now what we're going to do is put my switch in, put the data plate on, put this on, and plug it on in. Okay. Probably should get a proper tool for this. Yeah. Alrighty. We have a switch. So now, oh, that's looking nice now. That makes a lot more sense. Okay. So now what we're going to do is feed these wires down one at a time. So the first one is the rail. What I'm going to do here is take this time and put some spade connectors on them. I need to cut some of this off. That's a little too much there. Okay. And then we'll smash that on down. Okay. Do the next one. Make sure I grab a red one. Alrighty. Okay, so now we're going to start with our main bus line feed. Now, I think I'm going to take a little piece of electrical tape here, everybody, and just mark these 2 wires so when it goes through I know these are my programming wires. Okay, go ahead and put our ends on them. Okay. Okay. Smash that down. Alright, we'll run that through down below. Okay. Okay. Choo-choo! Alright, buddy, we're down below here. We separated our wires, and let's hook these in. Yeah, I tell you, these spade connectors make things a whole lot easier. Okay, so now, Ed, we're going to have to get a little strategic about this. I guess in time we're going to have to make little jumper wires that would go to the rest of these.
That's correct. I was about to ask you about that once you got these 2 hooked up.
Yeah, so we're going to have to address that at some point. So
but for now,
what we're going to do is hook it directly into my first 2 wires here, because that's feeding the north side of my layout. Okay, so what I'm going to do is like a double jumper, and we're going to do it like that. So I'm going to turn that one like that, and then turn that one like that. And then it should slide, both of them should feed right down in there, nice and pretty. Okay. Alrighty, everybody, so I got coming from the Zephyr into my rail A and B, or positive and negative. Down here it will go over to north side of my layout, and then in time what I'm going to do is take jumpers and go from black to black to black, red to red to red, and then that's going to feed the rest of it and my extra buses. So
wait a minute.
What's up?
Hold on now.
Got a question?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, what's up?
So this is your main line off of the Zephyr?
Yes. Yeah,
all
and
right.
this is the south side of the layout.
Alright, we're good.
And then the Alrighty, we're back, and so I guess now is the time to lay some feeders. And here, I got this handy dandy 2 dudes in a train, patent pending, our feeder hole poker applicator. Yeah, high tech here. All I did, I just used a piece of solid core household wire, put a nice little tip on the end of it. We're going to be using these 20 gauge wires as our feeders. I got these out of a phone line that you get from Menards. Cheaper than trying to buy solid core 20 gauge wire by itself for a fraction of the cost. So these are our feeders, and this is what it's used to poke those through. So alright everybody, we got my feeder wire here, and we're going to strip a little bit of the end off and make a little bend in it. So I think that's 20 gauge there. Yep, that'd be a 20 gauge. Let's do a little bit more. Alrighty. I don't know, Ed, what do you think? Is that about enough?
That should be plenty.
Okay, okay. So now what we're going to do is go long ways with it. Kind of grab it, and then I'm going to go sideways on it. Just go straight 90 degrees. And now what that's going to do is create a little hook in it. What that's going to do is lay up on the outside of the track, and then that's going to get soldered in. Let's do the other one. Okay. Going to put it in there and do a little 90 degree. Now, even though I got a little bit more exposed here, it's really not going to make a big deal. That's going to be into the foam, and it's not going to be harming anything. Okay, now for our patented tool here, patent pending, I'm sorry, we're going to go at an ever so slight angle and then push it all the way through. Now, if you have a wood base layout, you wouldn't be doing this. By me having a foam board layout, this allows me to do so, just to make that clear. Now, we just go one opposite of it, slight angle, and press it in. I'm going to reach underneath it, make sure it's a nice clean hole all the way through. That feels real nice. Now, what we do is just slide it on through. Look at that, like a professional. Now what we're going to do is lay it right up against the track on both sides. Kind of don't like that. Turn it the other way here. Press it in a little bit. Not quite leaning up against the track here.
Well, that's the advantage of using the solid core, is it'll hold whatever shape that you bend it.
Yep.
Versus the stranded, which will tend to fall back to its original position.
Okay, I think that'll work. Okay, we got our soldering iron set to about 350, 375. And then what I'm actually going to do is take this and push it up against it. I have something heavy, put it right behind it. Now what we're going to do is take a little bit of flux, dab it on there a little bit so it slides right on in there.
Flush the other one too.
Oh, okay, might as well flush the other one. Alright, and we're going to put a little flux on the back side there. And you know what? I think I'm going to have to put my cheaters on so I can see this close. Alrighty, by golly, I can see now. Okay, just heat up the track and then just feed it on in there. Just like that. And let's do the back side. Clean the excess flux off. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Clean our iron off. Stow it away so you don't burn yourself. Okay, now let's zoom in and see what we got. Oh, Ed, what do you think?
Now I gotta take my glasses off. Let's see.
Think we got good adhesion there?
Yeah, I'd say we're good.
So now we're going to hop underneath and hook up the feeder wire to the bus line coming off of the switch. Alright everybody, now what we're going to be using are these little briefcase clips. They're pretty slick. Okay, what you do is, let's start off with the red wire and then we'll walk through this. These are used to splice into an existing wire, which means that the bus line would go all the way through it like so, and then it would continue on down the line. And then your feeder line would go on the other side, but it actually has a little wall back here that stops it from going all the way through. And then on the top here you have a piece of metal that when you smash it down, it makes connection in between the two wires, thus making a Y diverter. So you don't have to do anything special with the ends of the wires. I got a nice flat cut on them, and then you just feed it into the other side. Now what I'm going to do is back this up, since there's nothing going to be coming out the other side of this, because I'm not making another programming track. I'm just going to go ahead and make it flush, and then grab those pliers, make sure that the one wire hits the wall, and then you just take it and mash it down, just like that. This is where the briefcase word comes in at, because this actually flips over, locks into place, just like so, and now it looks like a little briefcase. Nice, neat, and tidy. So let's do that to the other one now. Okay, oh, I dropped it. Here we go again, everybody.
Is it going?
I dropped it and I don't know where it went.
Alright, I'll get you another one.
Okay, good grief. Really? Oh, good grief. Thank you. It's around here somewhere, everybody. Okay, so once again, we'll just run the bus wire or the bus feed all the way through. Send the other one in the other side, make sure it hits that wall. If you got any other wire sticking out the back side here, like I'm about to have, you can always just cut that off. Or you can always hook onto it and continue it. Alrighty, got that smashed down. So, got ourselves a briefcase. So I'm going to cut this end off, because I'm not making another program wire. I'm just going to make this nice and neat and cut it off. So it's not touching anything. Alrighty. So I believe, Ed, we have ourselves a live track.
Not yet. We got to plug in the power supply.
Yeah, the solder. Right here. Let me unplug the solder here. And put that right there. And then put this through the hole where I came up with before. Okay. Alrighty. There you go. There it is. I heard a couple beeps.
We have power.
Alright, well tell you what everybody, I'm going to set the control board and see you up top. Alrighty, for the moment of truth. Well, I got one of my locomotives, got one of the small ones. Not ready to pull out one of the big ones yet. I'll save that for a better day. But for now, I have my little 060 and we're going to give it a little test-see here. So what we're going to do is go over to the Zephyr here and program a 4335. Okay, hit the locomotive. But I can have another episode of going through the Zephyr here, because it's sweet. I love this thing. Alright, so now we turn the power track on. We didn't get a short, man.
No short, and I see a light.
Okay, we have a headlight there.
We have headlights.
Alright, so now let's put it in forward, and let's give it a little juice. Uh-oh, I'm hearing something. There we go. There we go. And we're moving. Alrighty. Let's get like... Nice. Let's slow it down. I'm about ready to come there. Okay, let's go a little bit backwards. Uh-oh. Maybe the track's a little dirty there.
A little dirty, yeah.
I'm in reverse. Oh, there it is. I'm seeing a little bit of a light there. There we go.
Let the momentum pick it up.
Yeah, the light's going on and off though.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. There we go.
There it goes. There it goes.
There we go.
So we got a dirty spot in the track.
Yeah, I think we got a dirty spot in the track, but there you go.
The first train running on the two dudes in the train layout.
Nice. And she moves. All right, let's go one more time. All right, yeah, it seems to work real nice on this side. Picks up real good. Probably use a little oil. Yeah, I probably geared up a little oil on them locomotives a little bit. It goes through that little spot just fine. Oh, okay. Oh, and we're...
Oh, we're through
the
we're through insulated joint. But there we go.
All right, well, we got a light now. Oh, light went up. Oh, there it is.
There it goes.
There it is. Yeah, just a little dirty track, that's all. Look at that. Oh, it makes me want to pull out one of my big boys now. Sweet. Well, alrighty there, everybody. I am a happy camper. Turn it off, turn the power track off. Alrighty.
What do you think?
I'm so happy. This is amazing. We got a track done. We got a programming and main track all in one. Now, maybe next time I'll get in a little bit more of the programming side of it and show you how that works, because that's a little bit more with the Zephyr and the internal works of it. It's actually pretty sweet, and we'll be getting on that on a later date. But for now, today was a good day.
It sure was. We've got the Zephyr installed on the panel. We've got it wired up. We've got our first section of track. Now, in the next video we'll continue with dropping feeders and wiring the rest of the track.
Yes, yes.
Then we have turnouts to worry about.
Oh my God.
Then we have the reversing loops to worry about.
And that's where I started dipping into Arduino. And then what else? What else? We got the reverse loops, the turnouts.
And some of those turnouts are going to have to be electrically controlled because we can't quite reach them.
Yeah, like the ones in the tunnel. But yeah, so stay tuned, everybody.
So there's more to come, but this was the very start, the basics. And if you're running a 4x8 layout, then you've seen enough to get yourself going and wire up your own DCC Zephyr unit and run some trains.
Yeah, because pretty much from here, it's just step and repeat, repeat and repeat.
So, I think that concludes this episode of Two Dudes in a Train.
Nice.
Holy cow, wiring. I think this is going to have to be part one.
Yeah, part one, which is the programming in main. And yeah, all right, so we're
our first train has been run. It's amazing.
Yeah, stay tuned for some of the bigger trains too. Oh yeah, yeah. That's just my small one. and then I can't wait to get some of his on here too, because he's got a big boy. You got a big boy, don't you?
I do.
Oh, you got a big boy.
I don't know if a big boy can handle this layout, though.
You don't think so?
No, these turns are pretty tight.
We gotta at least have to try.
We'll try.
Yeah, we have to try
it. So, I wanted to say a big thank you to all of our subscribers.
Oh my God,
for coming in and joining, and all of our viewers just in general who have stopped by. If you like what you're seeing, go ahead and subscribe. Join us on the adventure, and to all those who already have subscribed, thank you so much. We really appreciate the boost of confidence that it gives us.
And I hope you guys are enjoying it.
Yeah, and there's so much more to come. So stay tuned for more. Two Dudes in a Train.
Two Dudes in a Train.